Now we'll go back to the panelists to give them an opportunity to maybe respond to some of the questions and contributions.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Once more, I'm here again. Please, before I answer the question, I would like you to know that I am an actual accidentally governor at least taking this, but I'm still an actor. Mainstream stakeholder in Kanye. So at least, and this is my second. Yes, I have some experience. One big thing that I want you to understand is that Kano State censorship is saddled with the responsibility of media. Please underline that word. Media. All affairs to music. So at least, and Kano differs from Lagos. Kano differs from Jos. Kano differs from Enugu. Kano differs from Abuja. Kano differs from Anambra. Kano is very, very sensitive in terms of religion, of tradition, and of custom. And at least, if you let all those artists and whatever we call ourselves in a professional way to go without regulation, I believe it will create. So at least, when I came on board, I checked the law so that I will be guided. And at least all those laws that I met, I regard them as obsolete. The law that I met was written in 2000. You compare 2001, 2020. So at least there are many amendments, and I'm very lucky that I have reached 70 to 75% view. So I believe, all the bureaucracy in the next couple of weeks, maybe months, one very big thing is it's my 14th month. I don't think there is any practitioner that now fears to be called on officially by paper or letter to censorship board, because it's now a friendly agency. All those attacks, please leave it behind, because you are talking now with a practitioner, an actor. And I know the feelings of our stakeholders, that's the Kannywood practitioners. I know their feelings. And at least, look at them now. They are following suit, they are following the rules and regulations. We are not having any panic with them, because their boy is on seat. Let me give you a short story, please, so that the story maybe may answer all the questions. I joined Compasia movement because of the humiliation, the molestation that we, the practitioners, are given in the last administration. So I feel the pains of my colleagues, and I see that this is not good. I cannot go at least service. I engage myself in filmmaking. Surrendered many years. Maybe my mates are now directors, PAMSEX in several organizations. I'm there filming, and still I don't have that guarantee, that security guarantee of myself and that job security. So at least it made me join the movement, because I know that there will be relief and there will be light at the end of the tunnel. Not knowing that I will be at the mantle of that seat. So at least this Kano State Censorship Board now is a friendly institution. At least is the second home to every practitioner in Kano State.
So, getting this question, as the hip-hop artists have been left out in the past, and I think that Board of Prof mentioned that also was the I'd like to remind you to address that issue.
Okay. Let me address it. One thing is the first responsibility is to register all artists. That is the first obligation of Kano State Censorship Board, to register. Oh, okay. Now, if you did not register with us, how can we know your feelings? Don't forget that last 2 weeks, we gave those people with disabilities about 150. I don't want to mention this word, deaf. Is there any word that can be? Huh? Hearing. Yeah, hearing impediment. Okay. All right. At least we trained them. They came to me asking for support, because at least they are artists in their own way. So the board, they even produce movies on phone, unprofessionally. So I was happy to meet them, and I wrote to the governor to give us at least a mandate and chance of training them, so that they will be well equipped, well professional, and let them be among the large family of film practitioners in Kano. And we did it. Presently, this administration, the governor revisited this Kano Film Institute, and now the next 2 to 3 weeks, there will be a training for 100 film practitioners in Kano, 2-month intensive training, at least that will bring out professionalism in the business of filmmaking. So at least register with us so that we will know your feelings. Now, if you are getting away, maybe you are saying that you don't have anything to do with Kano State Censorship Board. Likewise, Kano State Censorship Board will not even look at you as their stakeholders. But when you go wrong, we will definitely come to you. What is the justice? The justice, have we come to you now? Because maybe you haven't done something that violates our rules. But one thing is, get to us, let's romance each other, let us know that this is Kano State. What can we do at least to protect the image of the community, of the citizens of Kano State? You also know that Film Village came to Kano, and it will be one of the greatest blessings, one of the greatest things that will happen, that ever happens to Kano, if it has been done. But because of this 1-2 crisis, you know, the story is now past. We did not enjoy, we did not win. You know, there are many things that when we gather together, when we believe we are practitioners, when we believe that we are one family, we will do things in a big way. Register with Kano State Censorship Board. If we register, one of the benefits is maybe we will train you about something maybe they will at least equip you with many things, but you did not register with. So you are not part of us. But I believe, and I will say it again, whenever you go against the law, yes, Papa, Mustafa is there. Good. One thing is, I answered this social media. I said that we are reviewing our law. We are reviewing our law. And one thing, our law, even now, our law states that don't release. Don't release. And I believe if you upload something on YouTube, if you upload something on Instagram, on Facebook, you are releasing that content. I'm asking this question, but he's there busy trying to make another attack. So please, thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. Next, I would like to call Barrister Kola Alapini.
Okay, let's go straight to the point. The gentleman, first, I would like to thank my brother, the Executive Secretary of the Census Board, because he has recognized that the laws are obsolete. They're more than 21 years old, and he says that the law is going to change. So a round of applause to him. Secondly, this is why this kind of engagement is good, because we're able to hear from them, people in the crowd to say what is on their mind, and we can rub minds together. That takes me to the question which the journalist asked, saying there was confusion. Yes, it is confusion. And in law, we call it conflict of laws. How did we get here? Indulge me to give you just about 5 minutes of the historical background of what caused this conflict. 1999, Nigeria returned to democracy. General Obasanjo was brought from prison, Yola prison, by the ruling party, and contested, won under PDP. But he was not a popular Southern president. He lost his word in the first election. General Obasanjo, now Chief Obasanjo, was seen like a northern candidate by Southerners. Northern Nigeria, he was seen like safe hands to put Nigeria into his trust. Okay. That was the first time the North was going to be out of power since 1983 or there, even 83, the North was in power. Because it was from Shagari was deposed and Muhammad Buhari came in. So for like 29 years, returning, apart from the short time which General Murtala Mohammed was assassinated and Obasanjo became president. That was the first time the North was out of power. So we had a certain gentleman called Yorima, governor of Zamfara State, who started throwing tantrums and threatening Nigeria with Sharia law. So you can see the conflict between Constitution, which nobody saw right away. Chief Obasanjo said he didn't see a copy of the Constitution until it was being sworn in Square, 29th of May, 1999. We were in law school. We had the interesting perspective of studying 3 constitutions when we were in university. We did 1979, and then we did 1989, and just when democracy was coming in, we had actually started like 3 weeks studying constitutional law with 1979 constitution. Then they brought 1999, we had to start afresh again and study 1999. So when Yarima came up with the declaration of Sharia law in northern Nigeria, so you look at what section, it was a huge debate in the auditorium of the law school. It was still one law school then, not organized it. Section 10 guarantees, it says that no state or federal government can adopt any religion. Okay, now we have Sharia Court of Appeal, Sharia courts and everything. What's the distinction? The distinction there is that under the Constitution of Nigeria, Sharia law is limited to personal law. If you want to marry 4 wives, you can afford it, fine. How do does my property, how is it evolved as a Muslim? How is my inheritance shared? That is what the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria says and limits to. And that's why Sharia courts, the Sharia Court of Appeal cannot handle criminal appeals. The Court of Appeal, second highest court in Nigeria, especially in Kano, in Sokoto, they have said so. But these Sharia court practitioners and Sharia judges, they don't like the general public to know. So if you don't get sound legal advice, you'll fall into a trap. I will use 3 cases to buttress what I'm saying. A few weeks ago, Federal High Court state can no longer destroy alcoholic drinks. How many of you know that? Kano State can no longer seize trucks of alcoholic drinks coming into Kano and destroy it. It has been declared economic sabotage. Before, this man will just seize the drinks. Kano is a very cosmopolitan city, an old trading post. You have been trading trans-Saharan trade for centuries. We know Kano as a city. How do you distinguish which alcoholic drinks coming to Kano is going to be consumed by a non-Muslim or non-Muslim? Isba will destroy alcoholic drinks in Sabon Eri, but Isba cannot go to the Nigerian Army officers' mess and destroy the alcoholic drinks. You cannot go to the police officers' mess. What are you afraid for? Go there and show your power. If you know, they cannot do so. Because they know federal law operates there. Now we have a law. So one of the ways in which you can clarify this conflict of laws, apart from engaging in citizen engagement, which I do, is to challenge it constitutionally through the rule of law. Happy my brother said, when I said artists should fear no more, we should also let them know that where your right begins or ends, another one starts. It's true. We tell our artists that it's not freedom to say anything. Even some of these chapter 4 rights, fundamental human rights, are limited. Exceptions to the rule. Now, so I'm saying it here. I can give you the citation afterwards. Islam can no longer destroy alcoholic drinks in northern Kano State, especially, and it applies to everywhere in Nigeria, northern Nigeria, because it is now declared as economic sabotage. Islam has not appealed, and they won't appeal because they will flog them in the court, so they won't go. The second case, which made me start monitoring Kano State closely, 2020, Umar Farouk Bashir, the minor, was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment in Kano without legal representation. The third case, Yahya Aminu Sharif, sentenced to death by hanging without legal representation for blasphemy. It was during the COVID year, so the news was not coming down south quick. But what we heard, we were aghast. Why? What did he say? What is a minor doing before an adult court in the Sharia court? And we know that there's a conflict which is yet to be resolved. So we swung into action. I came into Kano under disguise because there was a photo in quotes on all Muslim lawyers, and no Muslim lawyer should come to their aid, if you remember very well. So our colleagues, they were scared. They live here, they practice here, their offices are here, their families here. Nobody came out. The NBA sent the National Welfare Officer and the Vice President. Our colleagues in Kano switched off their phones. Everybody ran away. And we had to come. Are we now going to allow a minor to be in prison for 10 years? What does he know? Are we going to allow someone to be put to death without legal representation? Even when the Supreme Court has precedence, you cannot, even if someone, this is what the Supreme Court said in Josiah versus State. If a man, an accused, allegedly kills someone, is arraigned for murder, and he wants his trial to be fast-tracked, and it asks him to take his plea, and they say guilty or not guilty, and he says I'm guilty, because the penalty is death. The Supreme Court says the judge must enter not guilty. The prosecution must prove his case beyond reasonable doubt. You cannot say because he said I'm guilty, you just sentence him and you go and kill him. I am happy to tell you that Umar Farouk Bashir, after much international outcry and challenged the position of the law, And Kano State High Court overturned that decision and it's free completely, overruled Sharia court and said there were procedural irregularities and it was, a miscarriage of justice. In Yahya Aminu Sharif's case, the death sentence was overturned. And right now, we are the Supreme Court. We are the Supreme Court challenging the constitutionality of the Sharia law. We are not saying Kano State cannot practice Sharia law. And you can see all the intersection. ISBA, census board, Sharia, it's all interwoven. There should be a separation between state and religion. And everybody should know. More important, our argument before the Supreme Court is Nigeria has international obligations. We have signed up to treaties. International treaties, African Charter, the ICCPR, various international treaties. Except we remove ourselves from those treaties. You cannot be flogging people, Kano State, or any other place in northern Nigeria. It's a violation of Section 34 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's a violation of international human rights laws. So we're not saying Kano State cannot practice Sharia law. Of course you can. Limit it to what is in the Constitution. What the ground norm says. That is our argument for the Supreme Court. Hopefully, we will have clarity when the Supreme Court makes this decision, and everybody will know where they stand. This now is about dares not destroy any truckload of alcoholic drinks coming to northern Nigeria. This bar will be found in contempt of court. Thank you very much.
Next, I would also like to give the microphone to Professor Abdullah.
I've been told that I can do it sitting down. Listening to the Executive Secretary of the Barrister, I can see that they are headed towards a conflict. Eventually, arts and artistry is headed towards a conflict. It's not new. It will resolve itself. It happened many times here. To illustrate the secularity of non-Muslims here in Kano engaging in their own. One case study. During the previous regime of the censorship board. In Islam, it is not accepted for a prophet to be projected on a screen. That is why there is no Muslim film with a prophet, with a picture, with an actor pretending to be Prophet Muhammad. So prophets are excluded. Actors are not allowed in Islam to pretend that they are prophets. This is a well-known rule. But the Shia don't accept that. To the Shia, anything can be represented, including prophets. So some time ago, about 15, 20 years ago, Iranian TV produced a TV series called Prophet Joseph, about Joseph, the prophet, whom both the Muslims, Christians, and Jews share. This film was released on their own website, and a person from Kano downloaded it in Cairo, and he brought it to come and gave it to the DVD producers, and they were producing it. The censorship board didn't like it, and therefore the censorship board sent its team all the places where they were selling DVDs and seized all the Prophet Joseph DVDs. And then somebody in the censorship board at that time said, hang on, Joseph was a prophet of God. Jesus was also a prophet of God. Abraham was a prophet of God. And therefore, any film with Jesus, Joseph, Abraham should also be seized. So they seized all of them. The problem was, Jesus' film that Abraham films were sold by Igbo Christians. And therefore, they felt violated. And they sent a lawyer like him, a big, huge lawyer. The lawyer went to the censorship board and said, we perfectly understand your religious interpretation of prophets. No problem. We're not going to take it further. But what we want are two things. First, give us our CDs and DVDs. And secondly, leave us alone. Because our people, Christians who are living here in Kano, have the right to watch whatever they want to watch at the privacy of their homes. They're not taking it to public theaters to show Jesus film. They are doing it in their home. And therefore they have the right to do that. if you don't give us our films, we are going to make a big noise about this. So the censorship board at that time quietly the Jesus films and the Abraham films, but they seized the Joseph films. But because there was no articulated representation of interest, the Joseph films remained banned. So the people couldn't see that. So the point I'm making is that there is always a tension between culture and public culture and government culture, Islamic culture. This tension will never go away. It will always be there. Censorship board has a moral responsibility to implement Sharia together with the Hizbah board. And the lawyers also have a right to protect the right of citizens in the society, because you have the right to live wherever you want to live. We can no longer get into a situation where I say, look, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. So if you don't like Kano, you don't like what we're doing, get out. No, I'm not from Kano, I'm from Enugu. I have every right to stay here in the country. I have every right to do everything that I can because there is protected by the Constitution. I think I have a way out. The practitioners, the lawyers, that way out is something called agency. Agency is the ability to make your own judgment. And therefore, artists have a moral responsibility to protect the society. All these problems that are happening is because they have deviated from what the society wants. So that deviation is what is causing the problem. If you're an artist, you have a moral duty to represent your society in a way that should be represented. That way, like you said, there will be no harm. But those who don't want to do that agency now create a problem for the censorship board. Suppose these rules and regulations are there for people who live in Ghana, or who are from Ghana, or who are selling products in Ghana. Because these are three totally different things. Ian released the film, West Side Story, which was made into Cynthia. It was an American film, West Side Story, that was converted with the funding from American embassy into a house of film called Cynthia. And he wrote on the cover, this film is not for sale in Ghana. Somebody smuggled a few copies, and somebody reported to the censorship board, and the next thing he was arrested for selling a film that had not been censored. He said, but I wrote on the cover, this film is not for sale in Ghana. But that fell on deaf ears, and he was jailed for about 3 months. They have lawyers and everything. And eventually, in the end, the public culture will turn against him. And this one has been happening. There's always been this tension. It will never resolve itself. But like I said, internet gave artists freedom. Now, when the censorship board started, they started with writers, novelists, and all these novels. These guys are obsessed with law, for God's sake. Every sentence, paragraph, I love you, it's all about love triangles. Mom, the parents don't like the girl, the boy likes the girl, and so on. So, under a harsher regime, there was all this prosecution of artists, and they left them until they came back. But now, from 2013, they discovered that, first of all, they can write their novels under anonymous names and still make money out of it. They discovered Wattpad, WATTPAD, Wattpad.com. If you go to Wattpad, just type Hausa, search. You will see thousands and thousands of novels in Hausa language, many of them deeply, explicitly pornographic. And you can prosecute them because you don't know who they are. They also move to Facebook. And they move to WhatsApp. So they'll go to Facebook and start writing a story. And when they get to a very critical point where things are happening, where everyone is eager to know just what's happening in the next chapter, they will say, go to WhatsApp and pay 500 naira and become a member. Now, they are even sending videos of themselves through WhatsApp. It's a membership fee, 500 naira, you enter it and you see all sorts of videos. They don't have to use their name, so you don't even know who they are, you don't know where they are. Of course, you can go to the communication companies and say, I want this number. No, but that would be violating their right. As far as the communication companies are concerned, they have not done anything wrong because they are not subjected to to your own moral law and things like that. So I'm very happy the Grima ES is talking about reform and so on and so forth. Reform goes deeper than that. But agents, and my appeal to artists is that use your own moral compass to determine what would be good for your society. Because internet is unforgiving. You say something now and you're very happy with it because you are there, a devil may take it away. Good news, possibly the hell with it. Now, 20 years from later from now, this thing is going to come back and haunt you. So, a TikToker, Aminu J Town, has already started sending warnings. He will pick up a video of a person doing something indecent, whether an artist, whether a musician, or something, and he will say, if this person died before I die, on the day they die, I'm going to pull this video and show it. People say, why are you not going to pray for you? The time to pray for you is when you are alive. Don't do all these things because you are holding them. That's what people have been saying about Burjakunya. So what happened to Burjakunya? Burjakunya had 38 million likes. Aminu Daura had only 150,000 likes. And Aminu Daura is the one who will take you to heaven. You follow him. But Burjakunya will take you to hell. Which means people love going to hell. Or not going to heaven. So when the preacher came to much, he left her. They moved to Lagos. From Lagos, she moved to Nigeria. And then she came back to Lagos. Worse than what she was before. So it is very, very important for us to call a meeting of the stakeholders and deal with agents. But one of the things she said is that if God is going to put me in heaven, will you prevent it? If God is going to put me in heaven, will you prevent it? So allow me to live my life. I will answer to my God in my own way. So you cannot force morality. You cannot force moral decisions on an artist. It is up to the artist to build his agency, his own moral comfort and decide what will happen, especially in this conservative society. What will happen years from now? And in this society, people make judgments. Somebody comes to marry your daughter, then the next one, I like this guy. Be lying and like this guy. I don't want to marry a daughter because they had a very horrible life. And that artists are urging people to use agency in ability to say yes. Law and censorship board, they are also law, will continue knocking each other out. And who will suffer? The artists. The registration that the ES is asking, it's good. Because like he said, there will be some good things that they will be able to provide support. But the industry itself needs some shake-up. Under the previous regime, 10 million naira was given to filmmakers to make moral films, the kind of film that everybody likes. They don't make the film, they chop the money. No film, no money, they don't return it. So the government stopped that. So this is a conundrum. It's going to take a very long time to. Only solution is agent. I'm an artist, I'm going to produce a song or I'm going to produce a film. I have to be aware of the moral implications of what at least it's a. Thank you very much.
A round of applause.
I'm sorry, it's an adult.
Okay.
I know it's a Muslim state. Most of the artists, 8.5%. And we love our people. As he said, his Bible everybody knows that it's prohibited. So let's not get further. Please, let's be conscious of ourselves. I mean the artists. Please, let's be conscious of ourselves. And one thing is our father said it. Morale, the discipline, the ethics, at least belongs to us. Know it, but we know how to use it. Please don't misuse that opportunity. He said, yeah. And I said, fear go when you are against the rule.
Due to time, I'm afraid this is where we will have to bring the end of the Q&A. I would like to thank contribution. Next, we will be going on recess for prayers. It's almost 1 p.m. So we will be going to pray for 10 minutes and return. Before that time, we will be taking a performance from Classic Oreyi, the Hausa rapper. And when we return, we have more to come. We have a screening of Freedom Vibes Academy, alumni projects, and session overviews. We also have projects from the Freedom Vibes Academy. Alumni, Love Kure will have something for us, and also have something from A.B. Wordsmith, and Ramadan will also have some spoken word performance. So Classic already, if it is ready, and all of this will not take time when we return, will hopefully be done in less than an hour. So we are giving time for people to pray, and then when we return, hopefully we'll continue where we left off. But before then,
all these, if you like, between the censorship board, public culture, Islamic culture, and so on. They are presented in various places. I have sent them to Dr. Pure. So if anybody wants, contact him and share it.
contact him and I'll provide you with them.
As a parting shot, I am once again reminding our artists not to be intimidated by anyone. Fear no more if you're on the side of the law. We are here, we're accepting the captive of international lawyers and domestic lawyers. Artistic freedom is guaranteed in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Okay, Victor, are you ready with, okay, thank you very much, sir. Greatly appreciate your presence. Classic Oreyi ko amika wani mic din ne na ga kiran da nake ta yi kaji kuma zuwa ga
Now we are like Hassan da Hussein na so ya sa muke ba da jini na so kide